Now, should this happen because we're concerned, we in the private sector, the individual truck line and so forth, is concerned about doing the right thing? Or is the public sector having something to say about this as well? I seem to recall hearing something about the state of California saying, look, this is going to happen because we're going to force it to happen.
Well, the trucking industry, by and large, their main driving force are the economics of their business, as almost every business is. And when they're looking at cleaning up their engines, they're looking at maintenance programs, they're looking at the bottom dollar to their industry. And with no fault to that whatsoever. It's an extremely competitive industry, especially now with the economic conditions that we've had. It's very competitive, and to stay in business, you have to watch what is the actual cost per mile of running that truck. So in order to answer your question, in order to actually get those trucks to run clean, yes, there needs to be some sort of, we'll say, legislation,
right,
because it's going to cost some money someplace, and if that makes a transportation company less competitive in the marketplace, then another transportation company doesn't have to do the same, have the same constraints on them. It creates an imbalance economically.
For sure.
So what we have to do is come along and say, okay, here's what needs to be met, and we need everybody to figure out how they're going to meet that. The state of California has laid out the most stringent plans for diesel emissions anywhere in the world. And there are huge economic implications, because just like trying to get one, say, trucking fleet to do it, by getting one state to do it, there are trucking fleets in other states that now can operate more efficiently than they can in California. And there's all sorts of shifts in the marketplace that are happening because of what California is putting in place. But yes, in California, the California Air Resource Board is mandating a whole series of emission reductions, and this is something that you can go on our website at DieselTek.com or something and look at exactly what they are. But it's a continuous reduction. There's a 2007 standard, there's a 2010 standard, there's a 2013 standard, and then a 2020 standard that need to be met to clean up diesel emissions.
Right.
Okay, and so from my standpoint, I think in order to get the industry to change, there has to be some sort of legislative benchmark set for that. But in order for it to do it efficiently, and in order for us to remain competitive, it needs to have an economic incentive to do it as well.
Yes.
You can't just turn around and tell people that which is what's happening in California, that they have to put $25,000 or $30,000 retrofits on their trucks, and that those retrofits are now going to cause 10% increase in fuel mileage, or excuse me, 10% increase in fuel burn, and 10% decrease in mileage. They're going to lose power, they're going to lose performance, and it's going to lower the life of their engine, and they're going to have to replace that engine more often because we put all these constrictions on the engine to work. Then what that does, it just completely offsets the whole market, because now there's this wild card in that I have all this added cost based on government regulation, and then that gets everybody upset.
Right, I can understand that.